I'm back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sauron Takes On, and today we're going to be talking about Byleth. Yeah, crazy, right? I kind of missed out because I was taking a break from YouTube with all that Copa and light beer and all of that jazz. I've been kind of taking a break, but I have decided to come back to YouTube. And yeah, let's talk about Byleth here real quick. So, as you all know, Pepto-Bismol, Byleth, was released as the final DLC character for the Fighters Pass number 1. And I will talk about Fighters Pass number 2 in just a moment. But for now, Fighters Pass number 1, let's wrap this up. Let me give my quick opinions on Byleth. Now, a lot of people are really upset about Byleth's inclusion because, Byleth's another Fire Emblem character. And I'm sure that the two people who are still watching my videos will probably want to know what my opinion is on the whole debate of, are there too much Fire Emblem characters? And the answer is, yeah, but it doesn't bother me too much. I do think that there are plenty of other series that needs way more representation. Legend of Zelda is horribly neglected on Smash Brothers. We haven't had a new character since Melee. And no, I'm not counting Toon Link. That doesn't count. He's still... Yeah, I know it says it, he's not an Echo Fighter. He's an Echo Fighter to me. So is Young Link. What the hell? But, yeah. Legend of Zelda needs some representation. F-Zero could probably use some representation. Just saying. Actually, the rest of the series are represented pretty fairly. It's just Fire Emblem has way too many characters. But I don't mind too much. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. Like, the only real inclusions that I think are a bit much would be Lucina and Chrom, if I'm to be honest. They are echoes of Marth and Roy, who originally were echoes of each other, or clones, or whatever you want to call it. So, there is just an absolute ton of Marth representation, and a moveset that's very similar to one another. Thankfully, Chrom does feel uniquely different compared to Roy and Marth and Lucina, which shocks me to no end that he's actually an Echo Fighter, because, what? He plays so much differently than the Marth moveset that it's just almost absurd to think that he's an Echo Fighter. Meanwhile, Young Link, who isn't all that different from any of the other Links, is not an Echo Fighter. I don't understand. What's the difference? Dr. Mario and Mario feel more alike than Roy and Chrom. I mean, I get that they do have a similar moveset, but they're different enough to where you hardly notice it. Regardless, that's not the point of this video today. Today, we are talking about Byleth and what I think of Byleth's moveset, his or her, I should say, classic mode, all of that jazz, and the echoes that, Byleth brings, as well as the stage. And I'm kind of doing this without a script, guys, so if I seem like I'm kind of stuttering and trying to keep focused, I have ADD. Me without a script is a bad idea, and here I am doing this without a script. So, Byleth's moveset. Let's start with the good first. I absolutely love Byleth's moveset. I am very aggressive with Byleth's moveset. First off and foremost, the way I figure it is that if we were to have another Fire Emblem character, one of the things that I wanted was, possibly more mages like Robin, but I really wanted a spear or axe user. I didn't want another quote-unquote sword user. And it's kind of funny that the trailer makes fun of the idea that there's just too many sword users in Smash Brothers, but many playable characters in many different video games have swords. It happens, guys. You don't take a side character in place of the main character. But Byleth actually uses a spear and an axe and a bow, which we already had bow covered with Link and Young Link and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, the spear is incredibly fun to use. I love the fact that Byleth uses a spear. I will use that spear any chance that I get because I just absolutely adore how much range it has. That makes Byleth an immediate mid-range fighter. Not necessarily a long-range fighter, not that he or she can't do that, but mid-range Byleth is a bit of a beast, and I enjoy that. As for the axe, it's slow, it's methodical, it's powerful, which is pretty much what you'd expect from an axe user, but I still appreciate the fact that Byleth uses everything. Like, all the classes of Fire Emblem are represented perfectly with Byleth. And it also represents, he or she also represents the three houses very well, because all three house members from Fire Emblem Three Houses use those weapons. So that's kind of cool too. I'm not the biggest Fire Emblem fan, which means that I don't actually play Fire Emblem whatsoever. I've never actually played Fire Emblem at all. But, yeah, I do know about Three Houses and the characters of Three Houses. I've done a little bit of research before going into this video. But, yeah, overall, I think Byleth has an excellent moveset. Very unique, very robust. That's kind of why I like Corrin, too, actually. Corrin has a very unique moveset as well, making her a really good mid-ranged fighter. But nobody seems to like Corrin or the games that Corrin comes from, so yeah, there's that. As for Final Smash, it's not really the coolest Final Smash ever. I think it's perfectly fine. It works. It's very similar to the Final Smash from all the other DLC characters, where there's a quick animation clip, and that's about it. There's like a picture file that comes up from the background, whoop-de-doo. The only robust Final Smash that I've seen so far is probably Joker's and Banjo and Kazooie's. And Piranha Plants, if you want to count him on the DLC charts. But yeah, overall, I like Byleth's moveset, and I hope Byleth returns in future games. The stage that Byleth has is also really fun. I always like stages where you can kind of visit multiple areas and kind of get the layout of the land. Isle Delfino is one of my favorite stages because of that, and I'm super happy that Byleth has a stage like that. I love the destructible shops. I love the chandeliers that most people can't even reach. I personally love the stage. It's really fun to play on. And yeah, me and my friends play on it a lot. I have to admit, though, when it comes to like spectacle and everything like that, the stage is lacking compared to things like Terry's stage, Joker's stage, Banjo and Kazooie's stage. It lacks a bit of spectacle, but it's still really fun, and I'm glad it's there. Also, the music. Holy crud. Fire Emblem has some fantastic musical pieces, and that lyrical song, the song with the lyrics on it, I am so glad that that's in all other Fire Emblem stages now, because my friends really like Fire Emblem stages, and I can just like spam the crap out of that song and hear that singing, and oh my gosh, I love it so much, to the point where I don't even mention music often in my videos. I'm going to try and change my musical opinion and actually present it. But yeah, that track is so good. I love the lyrical track, and even when it's sung in Japanese, oh my gosh. As for everything else, the spirits, pretty predictable spirits. Not shocked. I'm glad that the three main house leaders can transform into their respective older selves, I guess you could say. That was kind of cool. And then you can see the weapons that Byleth uses on their purse. That was cool. I like that. But for the most part, it's pretty cut and paste stuff, I guess you could say. And speaking of cut and paste, the classic mode run, oh my gosh. It's literally I can't remember what character has it. There's another Fire Emblem character that has basically the same classic mode run, just in reverse. It's literally the same run, and I absolutely detest it immensely. It's just kind of like, really? I mean, it represents Fire Emblem really well, but it's already been done, so oops. Oopsie. But, yeah. So, there's that. But, honestly, I think Byleth is a worthwhile rendition. I love the alternate colors, love Byleth's character. It did get me interested in Three Houses a bit more, to look up all these characters and references and kind of research them. I'm horrible at remembering or pronouncing names, so don't expect me to name drop any of the other characters, but they're there. I like them. They're cool. But, let's talk about Fighters Pass 2 while I have you guys' attention. So, Fighters Pass 2 is going to have 6 characters instead of 5, and the first character is from ARMS. Yeah, ARMS, which, it's cool. I actually think ARMS would be another really fun. I like mid-range fighters, if you guys couldn't tell. I really enjoy having characters that can fight mid-range, meaning that they're not exactly close-range combatants, but they're not exactly long-distance people like Robin or Samus either. Not that long-range is super bad by any means, but that's part of the reason why I really wanted a Belmont in Smash Brothers, and I'm glad I got that finally. More on that in a future long video. But, yeah, I'm super happy that ARMS is getting a rep. It's interesting to me, because I don't know if ARMS is popular enough to have a rep. I know Splatoon was super popular. I was not shocked to see Inkling immediately get, some type of, representation there. But I'm super shocked that ARMS is actually getting a playable character. I'm not upset. I'm happy. I'm happy for all the ARMS fans. I'm not really an ARMS fan myself. I'm going to play the free, because they have it for free for a limited time. I'm going to try it out, and I'm going to see what's what. But, yeah, ARMS as a new IP was kind of shuffled over. People didn't really get into it all that much, unlike Splatoon, which just took off like a bat out of hell. And it's not as if ARMS isn't represented in Smash Brothers. Springman, for example, is already an assist trophy, and there are 5 spirits from ARMS that are already in the game itself. So it'll be interesting to see which ARMS character gets the cut, if there's only one. Because realistically, most of the characters have similar body types as well as similar arm type styles, I guess you could say. So you could, technically speaking, do something like Hero, where there's 4 different characters. However, obviously, if you did that, they would all have to be very similar in body structure, and that would cut some of the other ARMS characters out. There's the... Gosh, I'm horrible with names. I know Rin by name. I know Ribbon Girl and Springman, and that's like the only 3 I know by name. But I think her name is like Twintella or something like that. She has the arms in her hair. So if you did 4 different costumes, she probably wouldn't necessarily be in there outside of a color change for one of the other characters. But that being said, you could do quite a bit of representation if you did it that way. However, the girl with the arms through her hairs is one of the more popular ARMS characters. Rin, she's a noodle girl with a dragon arm. She is also very popular. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I'm probably getting her name totally wrong, honestly. But yeah, she's super popular, and a lot of people would love to see her as a playable character. And there's quite a few people who are saying that there's no way that she's going to be playable because she's already a spirit. All the popular characters, most of the popular ARMS characters are spirits already. I think that's stupid, because if that was the case, if the spirits were a hard no, that would probably mean that Piranha Plant wouldn't be DLC. Oops. Because Piranha Plant already had a spirit before Piranha Plant was DLC. So, there. I don't think spirits necessarily dictate who gets in and who doesn't get in. So, I don't think it couldn't be one of the spirit characters already. As for Springman being an assist trophy, I don't necessarily think that's an absolute no either. Springman could still be in as a character. Just because he's an assist trophy doesn't mean he's like barred for life. Crom is a final smash, but he's still playable. What they could do if they really wanted to keep things less confusing is simply turn off that particular assist trophy when, Springman is playable, or when the ARMS character is playable if it's multiple characters in different costume form, because Springman could totally be a part of that. He has the same body type as a lot of other characters. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, turn off an assist trophy? That's impossible. No, it's not. It would be an easy switch. It'd be an easy flick of the switch, because if you really want to know, there are certain assist trophies that can only be played on certain maps. So, like, if you go into training mode and you go to items and you pick an assist trophy, you'll notice some of them are turned off depending on what stage you're playing on, because certain stages can't host certain assist trophies. Do you really think Rathalos can appear in every stage? No. There are some that are just going to be too small to fit Rathalos on there. So you can see that they just turn assist trophies on and off depending on which stage you're on. Not only that, but you also have the Spirit Track stage in which Toon Link is seen on as a stage prop. Brain, work with me here, come on. But he's seen as a stage prop. But if you're playing as Toon Link, just so you don't get confused, they turn Toon Link off and put in, I think his name is Alphonse. I haven't played Spirit Tracks yet. I'm working on it. Guys. But, yeah, they switch it. They switch it immediately. So you can't tell me that if one of the ARMS characters is playable, that Springman couldn't be just turned off. And then you could have Springman as a playable character. It would be that easy. Assist trophies could totally be playable characters, which brings an interesting question. Wouldn't it be just the greatest thing if some of the assist trophies, which look like they're prototype characters anyway, were all DLC characters this time around? Fighters Pass 2, all assist trophies, baby. Come on. Bring in Alucard. Bring in Zero. Oh my gosh. Bring in Girahim, Waluigi, anybody. That would be so funny, because the Smash community is dead set on not having assist trophies as playable characters. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people seem to think that those are hard deconfirms. And I do think that most likely you're not going to get like a whole bunch of assist trophies as playable characters, but I don't think that necessarily is a straight up can't happen type situation. I really don't think that that's the case. So, because, I mean, there's a lot of assist trophies that are now playable characters in Smash Ultimate. Little Mac was an assist trophy. And then the next game, playable. Isabelle was an assist trophy. Next game, playable. It seems like every time they do another game, they make an assist trophy playable. So, why couldn't they do that for DLC? Just make an assist trophy playable. ARMS, yeah, that wasn't represented fairly. Sure. Even though, again, I don't think it's quite as popular for a playable character, I do think that it'll be fun. Because if you're going to ask me what makes a character important, it's how fun they are to play. That makes all the difference. That's why a lot of the Echo characters turned their own thing, I guess. Like Dr. Mario supposedly isn't an Echo anymore. Roy isn't an Echo anymore, blah, blah, blah. I don't find those characters as fun to play as oftentimes. It's cool when it's, representing a series that normally wouldn't get touched, but normally I'm not the biggest fan of those type of, characters, because their moveset has been done before. Ike didn't really fascinate me. Cloud was fun because it represented Final Fantasy, but his moveset is kind of similar to Ike's in a lot of ways and not in other ways. That made no sense. Basically, his A moves are similar while his special moves are at least unique. But yeah, Cloud was fun for a while because it was Cloud, but overall, I don't think his moveset holds up as well as other characters do. ARM's character has to be a very, very unique situation because ARM's, all of their characters have elastic, punches and stuff like that. So, yeah, that should be really fun. Honestly, that's why I wanted the Belmonts, because I thought that their moveset would be really unique and really fun to play as. And it is. I'm not very good at it, but it's fun to play. As for the other characters, the other 5 characters, I have no idea at this point. I can take shots in the dark. I've tried to predict as best I could, and it never happened. I'm still hoping that Lloyd gets in, because I do believe that Bandai Namco, the company that worked on Smash Ultimate, having only one playable character is kind of a raw deal. I mean, even Square Enix, who aren't necessarily known for sharing, has 2 characters on board here. So why not have another Bandai Namco rep? And Lloyd would be perfect. But I digress. I am hoping the ARMS character is fun. I don't know what they're going to do for Spirit Battles because there's so many ARMS characters that are already, Spirit Battles that it'd be kind of weird to have them all on there. But, and they'd have to get different artwork for the classic mode thing if it was a character that already had a spirit. However, the nice thing is that there is a possibility that Nintendo could just kind of side rail all of this. Yeah, there's a possibility for that. See, there's 2 popular characters that haven't been introduced into Smash Bros. As spirits or assist trophies. The exciting thing is that both of those are female characters. Ah, yes. One of which is a villain. So there's a high probability, like most of the characters that are popular in ARMS are female. Like the most popular characters, in my opinion, from what I've seen from ARMS, almost all of the popular characters are female. And that's kind of exciting because that means that there will most likely be a female representative in DLC form. And Smash hasn't had that quite yet. Byleth is, can be both male and female. Banjo-Kazooie, jeez Louise, pronunciation, come on, work with me here. Banjo-Kazooie is one of those characters that is both male and female because it's not just one character you're playing as, it's 2. So an ARMS character, I mean, given, they could do my idea and still have like a male character or have it male, female, or female, male, whatever. But there is a high probability that we will get a female character. Like if they just did one character and not did the costume idea like I had, then most likely the character will be female. And there's a slim possibility that the character could also be a villain, which is exciting to me because I love villains in Smash Brothers. You don't get to play as the villains very often in Nintendo games or many other games for that matter. So playing as a villain in Smash Brothers is awesome. That's why I main as Bowser. That's why I play villain-like characters. It's just fun. It's super fun. So here's to hoping. And I'm hoping the season pass will be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Because personally, I like the first season pass. I haven't played any of those games except for maybe Banjo-Kazooie. But I really enjoyed the characters because they're super fun to play as. Except for maybe Terry. I like Terry better than Ryu. Oh well. I'll give my full opinions on all the Smash Brothers characters at a later date. I'm working on a video project for that. Speaking of which, now that I'm back, just to let you guys know, I am working on the Minish Cap review. I apologize, it's been, 5, 6, whatever months. But I do have all the video footage that I need for it. I have a script written out. I just need to get my lazy bum and actually get on there. So, yeah, if I can get my ass into gear, we will have a Minish Cap review. After that, I don't know for sure. I'm honestly playing Doom right now, 2016. I'll probably review that at some point in time. That'll be my first first-person shooter game on this channel. And I'm also working on getting my DS to be able to record again. So when that finally comes to pass, I'll be working on Ocarina of Time. And I'm also working on FNAF VR. Yes, I now have a VR headset, so I'll probably be talking about VR games, including FNAF VR. I might bundle up a couple of VR games into one video, just because they're too small for me to actually do anything else with. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, till next time, take care. Bye-bye.